Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good night. It's your girl Kay, and welcome to another week's episode of Eat Fruit Pod.
Hello, this is Killer, 4A's to you. You know the drill. It is what it is. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Oh, what? I need to learn that language. What was that? Kamala Poka.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Oh, wow. I am definitely in a whole nother place right now. Oh my gosh. So, how was your week, Hilla?
Honestly, it was a great week. First, I'll say shout outs to Amethyst. I had like a little like listening session with her and her people on Sunday, and it was like a lovely, lovely, lovely experience. So shout out to Queen Amethyst as per usual, our resident Eat Food Pod, like was it like correspondent co-host kind of situation.
Yeah.
Just big up to the queens for always having great energy and just being so fucking talented. Yeah, she confirmed for me that I'm a master generator. Like we went through this whole human design situation, and like she showed me like what planets are in the universe actually reside inside of me. And it's interesting because like she's like, oh well, that means that maybe you have Jupiter or Saturn or blah blah blah. And I was like, for the last day or two before she had told me that, I just kept saying like, there's a universe inside of me. Like I see the way the man looked at me, there's a whole universe inside of me. Like, and then she just came and was like, so here's where the universe is inside of you. And I was like, heck. She is definitely a reflector. Everybody needs a reflector like Amethyst. So shout out to Amethyst.
What does that mean? What does that mean when someone's a reflector?
So Amethyst has a way of coming into a conversation with you and kind of like helping. She puts up a mirror to whatever it is that happens so that you gain some form of insight. That's like her gift. Me, I am a creator, but I also create energy. I create things, but I also create energy. So basically, what I am, I'm a one-man army.
Jeez. That's dope. Shout out to
As for like the rest of the week, it's been a good week. It's been a really good week. Like came down to some revelations and like set some new standards, and they've been working. They've definitely ushered in some greatness and some blessings. So this has been a great week and a good week to like have some gratitude. So yeah, I had a great week that I'm grateful for. How about you?
Just to piggyback off of like even what you were just saying at the tail end there, I tapped into a live. I know I talk about Court Stormy a lot, but I tapped into a live she was having the other morning, and yeah, I realized the morning people, those are my people. I'm a real, as Kelly will know, but I'm a real morning person. But like she was even speaking on the fact of like, oh, I lost my point. But it was, November, with November and it being like a new month, she's like, November, new rules. And she listed off like about like 15 new rules that she was kind of setting herself and, letting it be public if y'all are out there to set, but basically the idea of really setting like rules for yourself and discipline for yourself, and that being growth. Like, and she speaks on the fact of like disciplining yourself, not necessarily discipline yourself, but when you go against the grain of what you promise yourself, you set another rule to combat you like tapping in back to certain behaviors. So I really like that energy and that idea that she was sharing. So kind of put me in a mindset to be like, yo, I need to analyze, as we're always in analyzation, if that's even a word, and just really see where I can create some more rules to really like up myself and discipline myself to get to that next level. So definitely feeling that energy. And also shout outs to Amethyst every time. I didn't get a chance to dive into Shadow Act yet, but I'm definitely going to, because I know her music is a whole vibe. Like I want to create, I don't know, there's certain artists, like I'm like a weird music listener. I don't just like, oh, let me just play this. Like I definitely have to like set certain energies. It's like exciting. Like similar to, someone's dropping an album, so I definitely want to get like the things rolled up, the whole vibes, the curtains closed. You already know, and yeah, and vibe out. But shout out to Every Time. I loved her whole marketing and like how she was releasing everything. I love how she just owns her truth and like she's really like, I don't know, like kind of like, and I'm not comparing anyone, but kind of like the things I love about Erykah Badu, you know, and how she just like, I don't know, it's just Erykah Badu. You can't say nothing. Like it's just Erykah Badu. Like that's the only way you can describe Erykah Badu.
Like this otherworldly presence about them. Like they might be kind of like supernova, superhuman kind of thing. Like sometimes she almost doesn't even seem human. And I don't like saying that because I know that puts her on a pedestal that I would never ever put her on in terms of how much I respect her.
Yeah.
But like sometimes I'm just like, wow, like you don't, like people don't deserve you. They really don't.
She's so humble, if that's the right word. She's very like, yeah, but she's amazing.
She's very much at peace with whatever it is that she was made to be.
And that's a beautiful place to be in life. Yeah,
that's a destination.
Right? But my week overall was good. It was pretty crazy, but I'm excited. I guess I'll say it here for those of you that listen here. I'm really excited because, as you know, I love music. So I got to interview with Rochester, which he's a real like Toronto legend. So I'm excited for everyone to like see that, and it's just dope. Like when it's like another full circle moment, I'll say for me, because like, as I said, I love the music and being able to go to different like freestyle battles around the city and knowing what like Rochester, similar to how we'll talk about the Julie Blacks and the Cardinal officials and all that, when we, say certain names, it's a part of that. He's a part of the Lego piece. So I'm really excited for everyone to see that. And that's the best I can sum up my week, but it's just very crazy, but good. Yeah. That's it. Moving
on to JUICE though, for real. Like we don't necessarily give him his flowers like we should. So I'm just gonna say shout outs to JUICE because he is very talented, but also like a really dope spirit in our city. And it's like sometimes like that energy, like you underestimate that energy, but sometimes we're also lacking in Toronto, like that positivity, that strong positivity too. So like shout outs to JUICE for just always being like an all around stand up, good energy dude.
For real. And it's amazing when you're able to talk to these guys and they are who they say they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So JUICE, because like he's always gonna talk to you with a smile.
And speaking of, you are who you say you are, Jigga, as I was mentioning last week, he was finally inducted along with like LL Cool J and some other people into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And,
straight. And all those people you named, like, 100%.
When you're at the home show and you just see dun, 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 and the fire's just
and everybody got the rock up, they got their diamonds up, and good and well what they were doing in grade 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like once you see the rock go up.
Oh my gosh, yo, great times. So salute to Ho. The viral thing, I guess, that everyone's kind of discussing, but it was so much more beauty and great to that. I'm happy that I'm happy that I'm able to like see one of my favorite like music artists of all time starting to really get some, flowers that we street legends, we already give them all those, but like the street, the people, but seeing the white people being like, hey, we can't ignore your stats anymore. So it was amazing. So he thanked Dame in his speech, which, I mean, why would he not? But I guess niggas hearing him say it out loud, it really did something.
Also, you gotta be careful with Jay because I could like sometimes he might just begin to a nigga right there on the spot. You don't even know it.
If I'm being,
kind of like that's where him and Dane are, where they're just like kicking each other in the nuts, like wherever they can.
if I'm being like really honest, when I seen that, I said, damn, like if there's a nigga that knows how to play like chess or whatever, but he was thanking him. But you know what I mean? It felt like he had the knife in there and he just was turning it. He's turning it a little bit, like.
Yeah, I get that. That's how I feel about it too. And I mean, yeah, he has no damn choice but to like thank the nigga that like came up with him. You know what I mean? Like they clearly came up together. Like it is what it is.
Legit. How do I? I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
How do I turn that off? Yeah, I but it's really amazing to, you know, Dave Chappelle gave him his induction speech, I guess, after like a very beautiful video with like all these celebrities, you know, giving him his flowers. And there's never enough people. Like, I never want to talk. I know it's like a whole thing. We never talk about him like ever dying, you know, but
that's honestly, that's a perspective that I gained this year, like just off the strength of my age and like suddenly losing a friend that like, yo, mortality is real. Mortality is really real. And yeah, like give these niggas their flowers. Like they done set some pillars down. Like they're forefathers. They're our forefathers. Like give them some fucking respect. And don't underestimate that. Like there's something about our structures where we're just like, oh, it's not really that big of a deal, you know. But like that's how Morgan Stanleys were built. You know what I mean? Like Rock Nation might be our Morgan Stanley. Title might be our J, what is it, J something Chase, like, you know what I mean? Like
Morgan and straight up. And the more these kings elevate and they're able to build things like venture capitals and all these things, like it allows us to step up and be able to go, like we see what's happening out here. So, you know, the more I read something somewhere, I forgot what it was, an interview that he did. I think it was with the New York Post. I love like rewatching old Jigga interviews. I feel like every time I watch him, I just learn or soak up more. It's like he's still, whatever he's saying back then is still relevant, you know, to today. And he was talking to the like chief editor there or whatever. And he was discussing, he was basically discussing like business and just, you know, the guy tried to ask him about people that he's sold to, whatever. And he's just like, yo, like, I would have done things differently. But you know what I mean? You can't help the environment and what you know and how you grow from it. You know what I'm saying? And literally watching his career, like, and just really studying him as much as we can, like he's something that can never be duplicated. Like, so when that time comes, like I can't even fathom what would happen to the world.
I wouldn't say that like Jigga is my Drake, but I would say that like Jigga is the one that
Drake's not there yet.
No. It's not even in their career and like elevation. It's just like what I get from them. Drake is somebody that when I do listen to him, like he drops the 1-2 gems. He drops the 1-2 one-liners that are gems, and like that to me was like Jigga was that for me originally.
Because he also comes from that.
He just drops that gem in your head, and you're like, your facts. You're just like, oh, facts. Yeah. So like that was literally my original. JAYZ was my original, and like Drake is my new age boy for that.
Yeah, I can't even front. Oh, like I'm literally his son or his daughter, whatever you want to call it. Like we are all literally the businesses, the ideas, the creative, like all of that. You know, of course, Nicole, Lakey Hilton, you know, because they go. I know people are like, "Whoa, where'd Miss Hilton come in beside Hove?" But if you know, you know. If you know, you know.
But also, if you know by this point, you fucking know. Like, the melanin attracts a whole lot of moths. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you expect? There's a nigga doing it real big. Like, he's going to attract like. You know what I mean? I have this like phrase, and I've always said it, and I think I'm gonna keep saying it, which is rappers rule the world. They just may not know it yet. You know what I mean? Like there's definitely a rap effect. And it's not just on things that are cool, but like take it in that we can talk about venture capital, tech nerds and shit like that. But these niggas were rapping about Queensbridge and fucking living in New York City and like this type of trife shit that they've seen. And it's just like, take it in now. These guys sell bottles. They don't buy bottles. They're selling bottles. You know what I'm saying? Like you can buy a black bottle and it really be a black bottle at this point in the game. Like that's the rap effect. Rappers rule the world. They just don't know it.
Oh man, yo, Jigga fuck around and do another tour. I'm not missing it. I will be there because we're not really that sure. I feel like that's my vibe as well. Like I really want to do a lot more shows and stuff. Not that I ever really did clubs or anything like that, but like I really want to invest in like shows and that be the thing, because a lot of these people with the way the world's going, like I don't know how much longer they're gonna allow all these things. The world is seriously changing. So yeah, there's some niggas I really still want to see live.
Seriously.
Yeah, but salute to him. Salute to LL Cool J.
Yeah, like I said, really great company. Like all very much deserving of like Hall of Fame status. Forefathers, another forefather, like came into the game at 16 and like is still like everybody's favorite sugar daddy. Like you go for it, and the old thing, and that has nothing to do with your talent and everything to do with your sexiness, but whatever, that too.
Facts. So that was like, I guess like there was stuff that happened, but sorry, 1 second. But yeah, like salute to them. Like I was really happy to see everyone that was there showing love. And like Kerry Washington was one of the people. I know it's not like really that important, but like people forget like Kerry Washington is a real nigga.
Still an interesting fact. She has a story, boy. I fell up off of her, and like when she told her story, I was like, you got caught up, ain't my girl.
She's a real nigga. Like she's been outside. Like she's been outside. She grew up literally around these guys. So a lot of people, like she's done it. Her PR does an amazing job. And she is like, but she's still like,
I still find it interesting because like she had a little like time where she got misguided and like went for B, and maybe they patched it up. But that's why to me it's interesting that she was there and that you even brought her up. And she talks about it, that like she felt like she was coerced into like trying to take an aim at B, and I was like, interesting. And it changed her career, and also she ended up going through like a whole depression and shit at the end of it. I was like, that makes perfect sense. Like I do remember all of that shit happening.
Wow. All I know, like, she's been in a lot of stuff. There's this one movie, that she's been in that is not that popular, but I forgot the name of it, but like it's low-key one of my favorite weird like Kerry Washington like hidden movies.
Oh, you said Kerry Washington.
Yes. Who did you?
Okay, never mind. That makes sense. Cool. Disregard. I thought you said Carrie Hilson.
Oh no, I didn't. Ooh, no. Okay, that makes sense to the Beyonce thing. No.
Yeah. No, I can see them being like little brethren. Yeah. There you go.
Ooh, that would have been whoa.
Black star power.
Right? Ooh. Yeah. So moving forward, we kind of wanted to dive in this week into for pineapple fruit. Eat fruit and mind your business. What does being your best like mean to you?
I feel like we'd have to break that down because it can change. Like being your best might be different at different times. Like you have a capacity, but it's not like linear. Like it flows. Your capacity different at different times. So that might be different for you situationally, but doing your best for me, I guess in the lowest sense is just, am I okay to sleep at night? Like, am I cool with myself to sleep at night? Can I look at I can always look at myself in the mirror. But like when I look at myself in the mirror, like, am I okay with my truths? I'll say that's part of me being my best self. And like, some days I'm an overachiever and it's just like it's really crushing all goals and like maybe dropping an extra two. But some days it's just like it's not gonna look the same. Like some days my capacity might only be for one. Maybe there's a bag of other things draining my energy, and like just getting the dishes done is me like being my best. So to me it's very like it's conditional and situational. Like just very much, what's the word? It's on a case-to-case basis for me, but like I believe I have the spirit of somebody who will always try and do their best off the strength that like I think I deserve it. Just to start.
Yeah.
How about you?
You know, from very early, I feel like even in my childhood, I realized through like different, places I'd be and different, places like our parents, I guess, drag us to interact with like kids maybe you wouldn't have, interact, just life. And like from very early, I realized that like I was heavy loner and like heavy loner vibes. And like a lot of the stuff I would think or find funny or like all the little weird things that make me um, from very early, like I realized people didn't like respond well, or it would be like, I don't get it, or like, just loner vibes. So it's kind of like, I feel like throughout my whole life, I've almost been like conditioning to just like, naturally, I just sum it up as really like, well, I like it. And the lesson always got taught to me along the way where it was just like, yo, but if I really like this, it really doesn't matter if like others don't fuck with it or others don't like it. Sometimes, yes, it's been hard, when you, I remember like times where I remember one time at recess in elementary school, I wanted to get into this like girl club. They would bring like all their hair products to school and they had like this, it was like the popular girls and they would have like the grade 5 girls. I was like in a grade 4-5 split class and they would have like this club and they'd all bring hair products and do shit and just I don't know, like something about really wanting to be a part of that. But like, I liked my hair. It's not that I wanted to change anything about my hair. I just really, and when they would shun me and like bully me and stuff, and like, nah, you're not, mean girl shit. And it was just like multiple lessons like that just taught me to be like, nigga, you like it. And maybe that's part of the reason why I just loved hip hop and music so much. Cause being a loner, that was like a sure way that like I could find people, like-minded people, or at least things that people could relate to or appreciate with certain things. So when it comes to what's best for me, I feel like pretty much my whole life I've been learning that lesson, like, bruh, you just gotta do like what you like and like fuck what other people gotta say about it. Cause it's like I gotta, like you said, like I gotta look at me in the mirror and like you know what I'm saying? If I'm doing shit that I don't want to do, that makes it harder and harder every time.
But I guess like if you're doing things that you don't want to do, then you're not necessarily doing your best because you're not doing you. If you're doing your best, I just don't know how you can do that when you're doing something for others as opposed to yourself. But like that whole loner situation, I totally understand it. And for me, what I take from it is like when you're doing your best, there's no such thing as comparison. There's no such thing as competition. Like doing your best is really like the epitome of staying in your lane.
Mm.
Yeah.
Facts. And my little sticker that I have like in my planner this week, it's strive for progression and not perfection. And that like to me is also what's best for you. Like you can't be, like Killa said, stay in your lane. You can't be looking at others and being like, yo, I gotta be good. Like, things can be inspiration to you, things can motivate you to do more, but do not try to be like what you are not. Do what's best for you. Like in school, I would always join the cross country team, knowing running long distance was not my shit. And every time at Townsend Park, shout out to my niggas from Scarborough that know, okay, and they would have that whole race. They would always have to just come and the teacher would have to like get me mid race if I even make it midway. I don't have asthma, none of that, but long distance running was not for me.
Not apart. Like
it's not.
Definitely a cross country runner, and like it's not friendly. And going around those fucking those electricity like
Oh
thingies.
man.
Oh
Oh
no, Thompson Park is no joke. Yo,
it's not. I'd only make it to the part if they still did the same route where it would get into the woods part, and I'd be like, nah, this is tap out season right here. Like I'd be walking. I'd be like one of
there's
the
no time for
last.
everybody walks because like everybody knows you're not supposed to like explode out the gates, but you see a bag of niggas exploding out the gates,
and you go.
Don't explode out the gates
every time.
My nigga, it's literally a marathon.
Did not do what was best for me.
Yeah, I see the tie-in. We got full circle here. I see it. I know, but exactly like that. Oh my gosh.
Oh. So sorry.
But yeah, like that was such a great analogy. Good old Thompson Park. If you ain't taken down Thompson Park once, my nigga, don't tell me you're built for this shit. I'm gonna question everything.
Legit. Oh man.
He sent all them niggas from making the band to across the bridge to go to juniors. Like, I'm gonna send y'all niggas to Thompson Park, and y'all motherfuckers better finish that cross country route within a certain amount of time.
Telling y'all. So, you know, definitely do what's best for you. I feel like the more I'm growing up, I realize like that's what adulthood is all about. Like I remember times I would literally just go to the movies by myself because yo nigga, I ain't got time all the time to be looking for someone that wants to watch the same movie as me. I just gotta go, and I'm gonna get everything at the concession stand that I want. People judge me for. I remember like times, you know, just going to restaurants and getting everything. Yes, I need 2 extra lobster tails. Yes, I know they're $20 extra each. Like, let's continue. Well, let's continue. Like,
yep.
Just you? Yes. Yes.
Yep. I agree. Now get me my tails, please. Those ones, like, well, is this bitch eating this all by herself? Are you getting tips on all these sales? Yes, you are. Send it with a smile, please.
Thank you. So literally, and those are some of the happiest memories that I have with myself. And like, when I think about no one's around, I was literally doing something that, you know, made me happy and do what's best for me. Those are the things that keep you looking young, looking fresh, you know, not having those stress veins on your face. Like, that's what life's about. Like, you ever touch an old person's face? I can't describe the silkiness to their face, even though the wrinkles are there. And it's just like a smooth, like, you know?
I am literally a transparent, veiny motherfucker. So I've always had veins in my face from when I was born.
For real? I've never noticed.
Like, thinks I have like a little tattoo here, but really it's a vein that goes like back into my eye.
Sick.
Weirdo shit. So are we saying that like doing your best almost is kin to like following your highest excitement, or like really letting go of expectations or other people
everything
kind of for you? Is that
yes.
That's what it ends up being? Is that like
yes.
following your highest excitements brings you to doing what's best for you?
Yes. In your job, all of that. Do what's best for you. How many times you took that extra file for fucking Mary, and the one time the one time you're like, yo, can you just take this extra file for me? She was like, no, I got a lot of work to do. And you're like, all right, what? Do what's best for you in every section, everything. Your hair, your nails, your body, your mental health, your like everything, your love life, all of it. Do what's best for you. Because that is what allows others to have the best experience with you. When you even reflect on your childhood, like you'll think about it, a child learns the moods or the temperature of their parents when they're young, how they come in, how they're whatever, when is a good time to ask, when is not a good time to ask. You learn, you know what I mean? And we would see our parents do what wasn't best for them and how it would literally stress them. And as a child, we could sense that. So in our adulthood, what told us to stop sensing that?
I see what you're saying. That is like almost a whole another fucking topic off the strip. Like, we have to bring in words like normalize and yada, yada, yada. But I'm not even afraid of those words anymore. It's one of those things where it's just like, it's still part of the journey. And it does bring you back to that whole, like, now you have an understanding for why your highest excitement is the place that you need to go. Because it doesn't sound like success. You know what I mean? Like success, money, acquisition, like those words sound like what you think they should sound like. But following your highest excitement just sounds like you're trying to run around these streets wearing pink sparkles with like a little twister in your head, talking about I'm a fairy or I'm just doing whatever. But really, it's more than that. It's like, it's managing your stress levels. It's giving you that insight to say, hey, I gotta do this next time, or I gotta move this way next time, or you know, I'm gonna go seek this out instead of waiting for a next time. Like it's just, it gives you that ingenuity to like look forward to something and move forward to something. So I like that.
I do too, for real. So do what's best for you, sis, bro, and live your life.
If in the recent, like this, like shifts are happening.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny you did that. Okay, go.
Okay, we got things going. But like, you know, shifts are happening. Example of maybe what you think was you doing your best in like the last week or two or month or like quarter or whatever that stood out to you. Do you?
Sorry, it kind of like, you see, we got like so excited and Zoom was like, oh no, Black people are
wouldn't do it. Oh, they're everywhere. It's too much. Okay, I'll go again. So yeah, like my point is like a lot's been happening. We realize that the world is moving super, super quick. But if you can remember maybe in the last quarter, the last couple of months, maybe the last week or two, like an example of when you felt like either you were following your highest excitement or you were doing your best, and like what did that look like? It doesn't have to be like super involved in terms of what it is. It could be something super small.
Well, I got my my planner for like now to like 2023-ish, like the first month. You say I got my planner. It's a serious planner that I get. It's like $50. But it's a brand, and like honestly, the first time I got that planner, shout outs to Chapters Indigo, no sponsors here, but that's where I got it. When I got that planner, honestly, that year when I started writing and doing stuff in that planner, something like it brought me in school. I always like loved having my agenda, and always it kept me like, I'm a list person, as I said. So it's something that really makes me happy. And like, I love, you know, I guess, what is it, the name for like office accessories? I don't know.
Supplies? Stationery?
Yeah, that's the word, stationery. But the planner, I don't know, there's something like really powerful for me with my planners. And every year, like I literally like, this is my one from 2019. Like I have like, it's something about it that really makes me happy. It makes me feel like I'm really like investing in myself. So like, I know that's something I can never say to my mom when I was a kid. Can you get me this $50 planner? And she would get it. It was hard to even get $50 shoes from Payless. You know what I mean? So that's something that I could say when I got my planner the other day, really made me happy. I really did it for me because I know that, you know, that $50, it's more, the value that's in this planner is way more than $50. And it's like, I've already received back what I've already spent on it. You know what I mean? It's already paid for itself. So that stuff, that nerd shit really like brings a warmness to my heart, especially because it's something that I truly built from like the ground up. It's kind of like, I don't know, these are like my bricks. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'll show it to you. This is the
show. Awesome. I can see why you're always on the like search for these particular companies to make sure that you can like keep the continuity going. I understand.
Yeah, like when you find like the one that's for you, like it just, yeah.
It's a puzzle piece.
And this year's message is there's so much to look forward to.
It really is. It is much. No.
I'm giggling like a little schoolgirl, but yeah, as you can see, it truly makes me happy.
And that's the thing. That's why I asked for the example, because it's like, it's one thing to talk about it, but it's another thing to like have people watch you experience it in real time. It's like you lit up and now you're like, your frequency is different. It's not like your frequency was low before. Jeez. But like, you know what I mean? Like your frequency is very authentic right now, and that's fucking dope.
Thanks. What is one of yours, Killa?
So like I said, this week was like a good week. Like revelations and all that good shit. And it was just for me, reaching my highest excitement and feeling like I was at my best was understanding the concept of conditions in my life and what conditions I will accept from which conditions I won't accept. And it just kind of brought me back to a standard or a law. Like Stormy was saying her rules. I was just like, rules are made to be broken. So I'll fuck with a few laws. And like my law right now is unconditional love or bust. That's my condition. Like I feel like I've had to recognize where there's conditions being placed on me and whether or not I'm okay with them or I'm going to allow them to happen. And it came down to like, can you follow your highest excitement while having these conditions? Because these conditions are looking like what's the word? Pruners. They're looking like snippers. They're looking like they're here to snip some things. And I didn't really ask for anything to be snipped or clipped. And that was my trying to be my best self and following my highest excitement is just like really setting down that standard and saying it's an unconditional love vibe or it's nothing kind of thing. Facts. It's a stick to your guns kind of thing.
Facts. You know, those of you, you know, I love music, I love DJing, you know, when the dance hall mans or the Stone Love King Turbo sound when they're playing and they go, we are run the tune them odd, like yeah. All the love. No, I fucks with that heavy. That's a good place to be in. Yeah. It's really amazing when you can like your brain does this. You know what I mean? It's fulfilling. And it also encourages your brain to like continue doing that because it realizes how much it enjoys, you know?
There's that dopamine response involved.
Yeah, for real. So in celebration of some Black people and great things happening in the world, and you know, we're always talking about breaking generational curses, all these things, as many people should know already that Barbados has a female president, right? Her name is Mia Motley. So shout out to you again, Queen. Shout outs. But just in news in the world, I felt it was important for us to at least share the fact that she's officially now removed the Queen as head of state of Barbados, which is beautiful for one of the Caribbeans because, you know, when you really dive into history and all those things and, you know, how the English have embedded themselves into the Caribbean lineage, I'm trying to say it the best way I can, you know, it's really beautiful to see another Caribbean place be like, yo, this is ours and you have nothing to do with this anymore, as it rightfully should have been. So shout outs to Barbados, shout outs to Mia Motley. I cannot wait for the rest of the world, especially Jamaica, but everyone to really come out and follow suit and let's make this world a better place.
Like you said it so eloquently. I'm not the eloquent type when it comes to that shit. So for me, I'm just like, yeah, run the rapist out of town. Run the pillagers out of fucking town, 100%. I think it's a very like small step, but you know, I'm all about the left, right, left, left, right, left. I like the beginning of it and the hope that it can bring. I also like the fact that we've been paying these motherfuckers to have us third world. You understand? So like that, like let's usher that out. And for real, let's usher that out all over the Caribbean. You go to the Caribbean and realize how lush and vast and abundant it is. And it's a fucking third world country. Whichever fucking island you're on, it's a third world country. I think not. I absolutely believe, without a shadow of a doubt, not. And it's just one of those things where like, I'm happy for this step and I'm like looking forward to the next steps because it's also going to be a mentality shift. That's like 400 and something years of deconditioning that's going to have to happen. And like, you know, like because it's generational, like the shift is also going to be generational. You know, some of the elders are a little, they're very committed to what they know and what they understand and how they understand it. And I'm just looking forward to like that next generation, like our generation and lower, that has like that slightly different mindset, and just like hoping that they kind of run with scissors, with even just like not necessarily the outright act of the shift, but just like the possibilities that the shift opens you up to. Like I hope they definitely run with that and like just start anew. And basically what I'm not saying while I'm saying it is like start respecting yourself as a people, as the top, as the head. And that doesn't mean you're the head of anybody else. It means like you're the head of yours. Be okay with governing yours. Be okay with the responsibility of governing yours. And don't think that like there's anybody else better for it. Don't think there's anybody else better for it than you. Is legitimately what I'm saying. And like that's the hope that little shift brings. And like I hope it gets fostered. Like I hope that's a seed that's getting planted as well.
Yeah. And you know, going to Barbados, as I said, it like my first time going there, and the only other Caribbean that I had been to is just like Jamaica. And like one of the things that shocked me being in Barbados was like I wasn't in Montego Bay, I wasn't in like that type of part of Barbados, but like white people were just walking. Like, not that there's anything wrong with that, don't get me wrong, but Black people get what I'm saying. They were just walking, where in like Jamaica, like only in certain nooks you maybe see that, but to see them just locally, like at the restaurants that people be at, like it was like, yo, the conditioning in Barbados is their history, beautiful, but also there's a lot of ugly parts to it. And they are one of the most conditioned, they were one of the most conditioned Caribbeans in my opinion. You know, I'm sorry, love y'all, but I'm sorry. And I see it when I go there. So I'm very interested to see how this develops. And as you said, that shift is all that's needed. And I'm with it. I've watched The Crown. I love The Crown. Great. I'll rewatch it again. Love watching it on Netflix. But it's still it's still real shit that happened and real shit that needs to get resolved.
That part. And like, I'll be the bitter bitch. It's like, you made me pay for the fact that you killed slaves when I raised up against you, ho. I paid damages for the Black people you killed my brother, and I had to pay damages on my brother's head. Get the fuck out of here. And Godspeed. Real quick.
Yeah. But I'm still curious to know what water they're drinking over there. Still curious.
You know, we all have our roles. We all have our deconditioning and places that like we might have to focus on a little bit more. You know, when it comes to that, like it hurts. In my head, I'm just like, let's kill the house niggas. But I'm like, let's not do that. Let's not be that guy. Let's not do that. How about we don't kill the house niggas? Let's kill the house nigga mentality. Let's kill the house nigga mentality. Let's kill the field nigga mentality and realize like there is nothing separating us. We are the same, but like we're a dynamic people with a large spectrum. And it needs to be showcased fully, in full. It's not about segmenting and separating at this point. So big up to Barbados, big up to Bib. Heck on Mobby for me, because me not drink it. But big up on ourselves, man. Yeah, man.
Right. So that was great news. Mia Motley, big up yourself every time I want to say your name. I want to remember it. My apologies. President Mia Motley. Ooh, the disrespect. The disrespect.
We got ourselves.
Yeah. So shout out to you, Queen, every time. I'm excited to see the continuous work you've done, because to think of her journey to even get in this position, you know what I mean? For niggas to be like, okay, it's just started. Nah, like, she's probably so fucking tired, but Queen, thank you, and continue doing your thing. Moving forward, I want to discuss, I seen this quote, on Twitter, and it basically said, "Not all support involves money. Believing in someone is priceless." So I want to ask you, Killa, do you agree or disagree with that statement?
Wholeheartedly agree with that situation. Like we're only here to be examples for each other. Like there's a whole story of like the people in heaven being sat down to a feast and the people in hell being sat down to a feast. And I bring up this flipping analogy all the time, but it's a real analogy of like how shit really runs, whether you think it does or it doesn't. Like it's the simple and the small things that end up being extraordinary. And it's just like they had the exact same conditions. They were sat down in front of a feast. They had boards on their arms so they couldn't bend their elbows. And the people in heaven got fat and were fed, where the people in hell, they starved. And it was just like the people in heaven fed each other instead of trying to feed themselves. Whereas the people in hell, they weren't about to like lose their ego and their pride. They were just like, I don't need nobody. And you know what? You're not here for me. They had that kind of attitude. And it just goes to show that it just takes a little bit of support for you to get what you need in life. So I totally agree with that. Like, also, I'm not somebody that comes from money. Like, I've never really come from any money. And like, it's been mentors that have looked at me and been like, my nigga, who cares? Like, you got it on the ground. Like, just keep trying to be on the come up because you got it on the ground. I see it in you now. Or you know, my nigga, you're not living up. Like, you didn't come outside with your chest up and your head forward. Like, that's not okay. Like, you show up for yourself because, and it was support like that made me who I am today. Like, when you don't come from money, those kind of things actually really do mean a lot to you. And they shape you. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't got a trust fund, what's shaping you? Chances are it's going to be the people in your corner. And no, it's going to be the people in your corner. It's not chances are. It's the people in your corner and how they react to you and what they feed it to you. Like, this year, a lot of people would just like run up in my DMs and just be like, yo, I'm seeing a shift in you. And like, I just see big things coming for you. Like, I see blah, blah, blah. Like, they were just speaking life into my transitions and where I'm at and what I'm doing. And like, even last week, like, somebody I didn't expect called me and was just like, yo, do you remember you do NFTs? Like, nigga, you were out there trying to figure out NFTs when everybody was like, huh? Like, nigga, can you tell me something about it? And I was just like, oh. And it took me back because I was just like, I only did it because I'm a nerd and I wanted to know. Like, I just felt like there was so much misinformation and jargon that I needed to figure it out for myself. And the best way for me to learn is to interact and immerse myself in it. And like, Tutu's like, damn near at the end of the year later, someone's like, by the way, like, I seen that, I booked that, and like, it's inspiring me right now. And I was like, oh, that little encouragement, that little bit of support, like it makes a difference. And honestly, it kind of just threw that back in my head, like, yo, you're an artist. Maybe you should go back to being an artist right now. Maybe it's time to go back to like picking up the art and shit. So yeah, like, you just never know what you're gonna do that's gonna inspire somebody else, but also like, when that same person comes and lets you know how it inspired them or how it made them feel about you, that's super encouraging. So I definitely agree that support can be anything that's positive. It doesn't have to be money. You don't have to be buying, like, you don't have to buy my NFT. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. At the end of the day, you telling me that me pushing first or being like a torchbearer on it was like inspiring to you, that's a whole lot. And it kind of like juiced me to take it seriously.
Yeah. Well, yeah. 1000% on what you're saying. You know, I was also thinking when you were talking about like, yo, what does that look like for me? But honestly, everywhere, every corner of my life, how I've curated it, like as of today, like none of my relationships are built off of money. Like, there was never like the essence of it, the hanging out, the jokes, none of it is based or surrounded with money. Food probably, but not money. And if it's about feeding niggas and the human race, like, I'll forever help to feed niggas and the human race, because niggas gotta eat every day, B. You know what I mean? But like, none of my relationships are based in money. Like, whether like, because even if you're my family, like, there's a lot of family I don't fuck with. So the ones that I do, like, our relationships are, in my opinion, real. Like, when niggas hit me up, it's not about that or based in that or contingent on what happens with that, which I am beyond grateful for. You know what I mean? Because I'm not one of those people that go around and, oh, money is the root of all evil. Like, but as we said a couple of weeks ago, money is power. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's like, just because saying money is power is not the only form of power. So when you're really able to link up with other niggas that understand that, and then you're able to create a power and then create some power with the money, or money is the power, like,
Yeah.
that to me is so beautiful. And that's what makes it, when people really love seeing like Ty Ty and Vegas Jones and Memphis Bleak and certain people around Jigga, or, you know, you look at you look at certain camps, and you know what I mean? Know that those relationships weren't rooted in the bread.
Yeah.
And that's why it looks like that.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Totally agree. And you know, most people think that it's like money is the root of all evil. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil. You know what I mean? Like the intentions you put behind the dollar is really what ends up making it good or bad. Like you understand that, like if it infers power, it's just an energy source at the beginning and like that's what power is. It's a form of energy. Like I totally agree with that. I actually like the nepotism, like we talked about so many fucking months ago. Just, you know, like as much as there's like a lot of like convolution about what Jigga does for what he doesn't do, like that little core of people that have stayed with him or they've never fallen out. You're right, they didn't fall out because they had a solid foundation that was rooted in some form of love or support before that. You know what I mean? Like you hear JAYZ talk about Memphis Bleak and why he loves him so much, and it's literally like that nigga was ready to ride for me. There was never a fucking question. And if I thought I was gonna even form the question, he was already like, my nigga, I'm down. I'm here. We're rolling. We're going out. And like that enthusiasm made them closer, kind of thing. And he honors that. You know what I mean? And like that built that synergy. And they take care of each other. And then you hear Jigga say, you know, no one will fall because everyone will be each other's crutches. And it's like, it's not just like, it's not a backup thing. It's a lifestyle type situation. So that is pretty fucking dope.
And I'm like really huge on that, even more and more now with like Downtown World growing and like, yo, getting requests and shit out of like God, let me stop myself. God opening doors that I couldn't imagine, and being like, yo, here's the next way for you to eat. Here's this, here's that. I make it like my duty that anyone that I work with, anyone that's around me, there's like, you know what I mean? There's a certain conversation that needs to be had for me to have certain people around me. That's why, like, yo, niggas, you'll see certain people around me and then you won't. And that's real shit. And you have to be able to do what's best for you, and to be able to know, like, I didn't even mean that. And I'm thinking about it now that, you know, we're here doing it now. But I was like, yo, everything that I do, like, if a nigga tried to make it something else, like, automatically my energy just pushed it out. Like, and it wasn't a matter of me caring about how savage it may come across. It's not about being rude. It's just, I hope you get a point where you understand why I made the decision I made, because I really tried to speak with you and you really didn't hear me. So like, nah, like, and I need like the core of that when you think about community and things like that. Like, it's not like involved in those things. And a lot of niggas try to come, you know, a lot of people ask, oh, I want to work with you, I wanted this, I wanted that, and they want to give themselves titles under like my shit and like all of this, you know what I mean? And it's just like, yo, my nigga, like, I understand you gotta eat, I understand everyone's hungry. Perfect example I can give, you know, in a situation, you know, gangster movies, this is all fictional. In a movie, whatever, the mans go in, they rob the spot. Maybe the people that are in there, they're not, you know, cooperating as well as they do. And there's always a nigga in the crew. Well, not always, but sometimes a nigga in the crew is like, yo, just let me shoot him, yo, just let me shoot him, yo. And it's like, yo, you're trying to tell, yo, just chill. We're gonna get out of this. We're gonna whatever. You don't need to shoot. And then bow. Now you got a body. And nigga, I'm making you responsible for that and deal with that. And, you know, it's a thing because some people just don't understand that, yo, you don't got to go this way to make that happen. And yes, the climb is longer. It looks sloppier at times. Maybe it doesn't look as lit. Social media fucks with people's perception heavily. You know what I mean? And now we're getting into metaverses and you know what I mean? Who fucks with your perception heavily? Watch Total Recall, you know? So like I value and all I want around me is niggas that are not like our shit is not, the foundation is not bread. Because that's how it starts. It's already telling to me because I've already solidified that so much in my spirit and everything that I do that are like organically, those are the people that like the people that I want are things. So when you're against that, or at first you perceive to be that, and then after like it really wasn't that, and you just were trying to hit a lick and you're realizing it's not that lick over here, gotta do what's best for me. Sorry. Eat fruit, mind your business. Don't waste no time with negativity.
No, I like
eat fruit and mind your business.
I like how you put that with like you're just here to catch a lick because like the grass looks greener.
Real shit. Like I'll even be transparent with like us, Killa. Anytime that I've asked you to support me in some way, honestly, what has our conversation been like around it? Because that's the way I see it. Literally, you support me in ways that do not involve money, but they do, but they don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, different currencies.
Like niggas be so caught up on seeing this, you know, and feeling like that's the only way that shit like gets fruitful. It's the power behind it.
The power behind it. And that just goes to show like a lot of people are on the outside looking in at the image. Like we tend to accept the image before we look past the image. Like the image is cute, but it's literally it's the veneer, like it's the icing. Like what flavor is the cake? God damn it. Do you even know what flavor it is? Because let me tell you something, if it ain't fucking butterscotch or motherfucking chocolate, miss me with it today. Ooh, I might take an angel food cake with like a strawberry shortcake kind of thing. I might take one of those, but like, well, like, do you know what's inside it? Like, what's inside the layers? Maybe there's a different whole motherfucking icing inside. Like, you don't know the ins and outs.
For real. So, you know, and I'm happy that God has put me in a place where I'm able to support others that is not like necessarily monetary now, but it brings value and, you know, helps in whatever ways, you know. I seen Charlemagne posted this quote today that I really liked on social media, and it said, remember, whenever you're in a position to help someone, be glad and always do it because that's the universe answering someone else's prayers through you.
God does love a cheerful giver.
So yeah, I want my currency. That's my currency.
But also, it's like you have to think about the flip side. It's like when you see somebody and maybe you get glass in your eye about the image that you see them portraying, and your instinct is not to support them. You know what you're doing when you're not supporting. You're trying to withdraw from them. Like you're not trying to invest in them at that point. So you know good and well that like support does come in other forms. You know what I mean? Like your acknowledgement of them at that point is too much for you to do. So you couldn't even give that out as currency. So you know good and well that what the exchange is. You know, on the flip side, not even just from like the positive happy side, when you're open to pushing it out and showering it on somebody else. There's times when you're not, and you know good and well why. You know why you're not doing it, because you are trying to hinder somebody. So you do know that support comes in multiple currencies, and it's just about whether or not you're willing to give it.
Facts. Like your body, like if you pay attention, like literally, and everyone has done it at some point. Nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? Where like your body will give you the indication to, and like you are literally the one that will say to fight your own body to be like, nah, no, I'm not gonna like that. No, I'm not gonna share that. But why did the thought even come to tell you to do it? For you to now try to combat that idea. And that, as we said a couple of weeks ago, check your motives. Check your motives.
That whole part. Oh.
Check your motives, right? And that's that ego. That's that, you know what I mean? And that, like, I don't care. I see that shit on Twitter. I don't fucking care. More times I don't even know who did it. I read the words and I fucked with it and I shared it and I liked it and I did whatever. Cause you know what? It doesn't cost me fucking nothing. Like, you know what I mean?
Ross talks about that all the time. Where it's like, yo, if you want to be successful, it's not about money. Like the whole mindset of success is fucking free. You know what I mean? Supporting other people makes you successful. In the Master Key system, back to that, one of the main things that has always stuck out to me from reading that book, even from back when I read it the first time, was just like, your success comes in how much you can be of service to others. You know what I mean? Like the same analogy of like love is like a magic penny, like keep it to yourself and you won't have any, but if you give it more and more, it will roll all over the floor. Same, like do what you can. And if that's just where you're at, that's your currency, like give it out, give out that service, give out that support. It does come back to you. And like, who knows, it might come back to you tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold. You just don't know how it comes back, but it does. Like it's all vibrations and positive energy.
Facts. And that is a perfect way to end this week, because that's what it's all about. Good vibes, good energy, eating fruit, minding your business. It's November. Oh, my bad. I really don't acknowledge Halloween, but like shout out to y'all. Y'all look dope in your costumes. I acknowledge that, you know. But other than that, like, you know, I'm happy to see nobody, you know, got hurt, nothing like that. It was pretty safe for the most part. And you know, good vibes and good energy. Like it's officially now, like, I think, you know, about 59 or whatever days till the calendar end of this year. But like, why wait till then? Start now. Do what's best for you.
I mean, we're officially in another quarter. Like we started over a quarter, so this is technically what, first quarter? So technically the year has changed. We're in fiscal year 2022 at this point.
There it is. So
there you go. Live it up. There's always a reason to live it up. Live it up. Go do your best.
Facts. Do your best. Okay.
I'll be asking.
So, you know, eat fruit by your business, guys. It's been another week. It's been amazing. Thank you everyone for your support. And Killa?
Love you, sending love out to you. But I'm not just sending out love to you. I'm going to send you unconditional love, and then I'm going to wrap you in it, and then I'm going to shroud you in it, and then I'm going to fill you with it, and then I'm going to put it up underneath you and raise you up with it, and like hope that when you're sent out into the world, you're good.